You feel it, don't you? The pressure, the silence, the way life has been watching you struggle, but heaven has been watching too. Listen closely, you don't have much time left. Chosen one, I see where you are right now. Rejected, misunderstood, attacked in places you never spoke about. Yet your spirit is still standing. That is not survival, that is evidence of destiny. Only 2 minutes remain before something shifts in your story. The enemy thought you were finished. People thought you were broken beyond repair. But God never stopped writing your name in his covenant book. There is a message coming to you right now, a spiritual declaration you were born to hear. Your tears were not wasted. Your battles were not random. Heaven has assigned protection over your purpose. Stay here. Breathe slowly. Something powerful is about to be revealed, and you are not forgotten. You are chosen. And time is almost up. I saw when they rejected you. I was there in the quiet moments, when you replayed their words in your mind, wondering if something was wrong with you. Hear me clearly, my chosen one, your rejection was never your identity being destroyed. It was me protecting your destiny. You thought I left you, but I was actually moving you. You thought you were being pushed away from love, but I was pulling you closer to purpose. You cried when doors closed. You asked me why. People you trusted suddenly became strangers. You felt like you were too much for some people and not enough for others. But listen to my voice in the silence of your heart. You were never meant to fit into every space you entered. Some environments could not carry the weight of the calling I placed inside you. So I removed you before they could break what I was building. You felt alone because I was teaching you how to stand without needing applause. People who never understood your assignment. I was separating you from voices that would have planted doubt inside your spirit. You thought isolation was punishment, but it was actually preparation. I was teaching you how to hear my voice when no one else was speaking for you. There were nights you felt forgotten, nights you watched others move forward while you stayed behind, waiting, praying, wondering if your life was stuck. But I was working in hidden places you could not see. I was strengthening your spirit, hardening your faith, preparing your character for blessings that require spiritual maturity, not just emotional strength. Chosen one, understand this deeply. I do not promote people who cannot carry the weight of their destiny. I do not place my greatest warriors in comfortable places. I build them in deserts where faith must become stronger than feelings. You were not abandoned. You were being refined. The relationships that ended were not losses, they were spiritual realignments. The opportunities that disappeared were not failures, they were distractions being removed from your path. I had to separate you so I could elevate you. What I have planned for you requires clarity, strength, and spiritual vision. You will soon understand why certain people could not walk with you. You will see that your story was never about being accepted by everyone. It was about being chosen by heaven, and what I choose, I protect, I refine, and I bring into glory at the perfect time. Do not mourn what I have removed. Look forward to what I am about to reveal. Your purpose is still alive, and I am not finished with your story. I have seen every battle you have fought. Every night you stayed awake, wondering why life felt like a war you never signed up for. Hear me clearly, my chosen one. The battles in your life are not proof that you are losing. They are proof that you are dangerous to darkness. If your destiny was small, you would not face such resistance. If your calling was weak, you would not feel such spiritual pressure. You have felt attacked in places where you were the most vulnerable. Your mind, your heart, your relationships, your confidence. You thought something was wrong with you because everything felt like it was trying to break you at once. But I am telling you, something deeper than your pain is trying to whisper to you. The enemy does not attack empty vessels. He attacks vessels that carry destiny light inside them. You have wondered why challenges kept appearing even when you tried to do everything right. You prayed. You tried to be good. You tried to stay humble. Yet storms kept finding you. Listen to me, storms do not come to destroy my chosen ones. Storms come because there is something powerful inside you that refuses to stay hidden forever. You are not fighting random struggles. You are standing in spiritual warfare over purpose, over inheritance, over generational chains that I am breaking through your life. The resistance you feel is not chaos without meaning. It is evidence that something glorious is being formed inside you through pressure, like diamonds formed under weight that would crush something weaker. There were moments when you felt tired of fighting, moments when you wanted peace more than victory. You asked me why your life could not be easier. But I am not building you for temporary comfort. I am building you for eternal impact. The battles you survived are becoming testimonies you will carry into other people's darkness to bring them back to hope. I know there were times you felt spiritually watched, spiritually pressured, emotionally drained. That was not imagination. That was purpose being tested. Your faith was being trained like a warrior learning to stand, even when fear is screaming loudly around them. Do not believe the lie that says you are cursed because you are attacked. You are attacked because you are anointed. And what I anoint, I also protect. You are still standing. That is prophecy in motion. That is destiny refusing to die. The fight has been hard because the victory is going to be loud. People will not just see your survival. They will see my glory written through your life. Keep standing. Keep believing. Because the war you are in is proof that your destiny is powerful enough to change lives, generations, and spiritual histories. And I am not finished fighting for you. I saw you in the quiet places, the empty rooms, the moments when you felt like everyone was moving forward except you. Hear me, my chosen one. Loneliness was never a sign that you were forgotten. It was me teaching your spirit how to stand in authority without needing crowds to validate your calling. You thought loneliness was punishment. But I was training you for leadership that does not depend on applause. There were times when you opened your phone, hoping someone would check on you. Times when you smiled in public, but felt heavy inside when you were alone at night. You wondered why relationships felt temporary, why people came close but never stayed long enough to truly understand your heart. Listen closely. I was not taking people away to hurt you. I was protecting the voice of destiny inside you from being shaped by the wrong opinions. Chosen one, authority is not built in noisy places. Authority is formed in hidden places. I had to teach you how to survive spiritual silence before I could trust you with spiritual influence. Because when I elevate you, People will not just follow your personality, they will feel the weight of the purpose I placed on your life. You cried sometimes in loneliness. I heard those prayers you could not even put into words. You felt like life was happening around you while you were standing still. But I was working in that stillness. I was teaching your spirit how to grow stronger without needing constant emotional validation from others. You were never meant to be spiritually dependent on the approval of people who did not understand your assignment. I was building emotional strength inside you, so that when authority comes, you will not collapse under attention, pressure, or expectation. Many people want power, but I am giving you purpose-driven authority, authority that carries compassion, wisdom, and spiritual insight. There were seasons when you felt invisible, like your voice did not matter, like your presence was overlooked. But invisibility was part of your preparation. I was teaching you how to listen more than you speak, how to observe before you lead, how to carry spiritual wisdom instead of just emotional reactions. You are not behind in life. You are in preparation for a level of influence that requires character more than popularity. Loneliness shaped your heart to care deeply for people you will one day lead, comfort, and guide out of darkness. Soon, your loneliness will transform into influence. People will come to you for guidance because they will feel peace in your presence. They will not know that I built that peace inside you during your silent seasons. Do not rush out of this season too quickly. What you learned in loneliness will become your greatest authority in destiny. And when your time comes to step forward, you will not walk in fear, you will walk in divine confidence. Because I was with you in every lonely moment, preparing you for the authority that is coming. I have seen the battles raging around your soul, the thoughts that would not stay quiet, the fear that tried to convince you that you were fighting alone. Hear me, my chosen one. Spiritual warfare is not a sign that you are losing. It is a sign that something eternal is being built inside you that darkness cannot destroy. If you were ordinary, the attacks would feel ordinary. But what I am building inside you is not temporary success. It is eternal impact. You have felt moments when your mind felt heavy with doubt. Moments when fear spoke louder than faith. Nights when you felt spiritually exhausted, like something invisible was pressing against your peace. You wondered why peace sometimes felt like something you had to fight to keep. Listen closely. Warfare does not come for empty lives. Warfare comes for destinies carrying light that can expose darkness. You were not meant to live a small, quiet, unnoticed life spiritually. I placed something inside your spirit that refuses to stay silent in the face of darkness. That is why you feel pressure when you are about to grow. That is why challenges sometimes increase right before spiritual breakthroughs. What you are experiencing is not chaos without purpose. It is spiritual refinement. There were moments when you wanted to give up praying because you felt like nothing was changing. You felt like your prayers were hitting invisible walls. But I heard every prayer you spoke through tears. I collected every word you whispered when you had no strength left to speak loudly. Warfare does not mean I am far from you. Warfare means what I am building inside you is powerful enough to be challenged. I am building spiritual endurance inside your soul. I am teaching you how to stand firm even when emotions are shaking. Because the destiny I have placed on your life is not just for comfort seasons. It is for battles that will require wisdom, courage, and unshakable faith. You have felt moments where you questioned whether something was wrong with you, because peace felt hard to maintain. But understand this, peace is often fought for in spiritual spaces. You are learning how to carry peace into environments that have never known it before. The attacks you survived are becoming spiritual authority in your future. You will one day help other people find light when they feel surrounded by darkness. You will speak hope into broken places because you have learned how to stand while under pressure. Do not be afraid of the warfare. It is proof that eternity is being woven into your story. I am not building something temporary inside you. I am building something that will outlast fear, outlast darkness, and outlast every attack sent against your destiny. You are still standing, and that is not survival. That is spiritual victory already in progress. And I am not finished building what I started inside you. I saw every tear you ever cried. Every tear you tried to hide so people would not see how much you were hurting. Every tear that fell in the darkness when you thought no one was listening. Hear me, my chosen one, your tears were never weakness. They were prayers spoken in a language only heaven fully understands. You thought you were breaking, but I was collecting every tear like sacred testimony for your future miracles. There were nights when your pillow was wet with pain, when your heart felt heavier than you could carry alone. You wondered if anyone truly cared. You wondered if I was still listening. Listen closely to my voice in your spirit. I was closer to you in those moments than you ever realized. I was not silent. I was present in every breath you took, when you felt like you were drowning in emotions you could not explain. You felt ashamed of your tears sometimes. You tried to be strong. You tried to smile when your soul was tired. But strength is not pretending you feel nothing. Strength is continuing to believe even when your heart is hurting. And I never judged your tears. I valued them, because every tear was evidence that your heart still believed in hope, still believed in love, still believed in me even when life was trying to convince you otherwise. I saw when you cried over broken relationships. I saw when you cried because you felt misunderstood. I saw when you cried in frustration, asking why life had to be so difficult. Those were not moments of spiritual failure. Those were moments of spiritual honesty. And heaven honors honest pain more than silent pretending. Your tears were becoming spiritual seeds. You did not know it then, but each tear was being transformed into future blessings, future strength, future testimony. Pain does not disappear in my kingdom. It is transformed into purpose. What hurt you is becoming what will help others heal through you. There were times when you felt like your tears were wasted, like no one would ever understand what you went through. But I want you to understand something deeply. Nothing you cried about was ignored. Not one tear was lost in the spiritual realm. I stored them in places you cannot see yet, places where destiny is prepared. One day you will speak about what you survived, and people will feel hope returning to their broken hearts. They will not know that your strength was born from private moments of crying and still choosing to believe. I did not remove your tears. I transformed them. Because I am not only building your success, I am building your spiritual legacy. And sometimes legacy begins with tears before it becomes glory. So do not be ashamed of what you cried over. Your tears were never your defeat. They were heaven listening closely to your heart, preparing your next season of joy, restoration, and victory. And I am still collecting your prayers. I am still writing your story. I have watched you standing in places where fear was shouting louder than faith. I saw the moments when your heart was racing, when doubt tried to convince you that giving up would feel easier than fighting. Hear me, my chosen one. Breakthrough does not come when everything is peaceful. Breakthrough comes when your faith keeps breathing, even when fear expects you to surrender. You are not being defeated. You are being tested for glory that requires courage, not comfort. There were moments when fear tried to speak lies into your future. Fear told you that you were too far behind. Fear told you that your dreams were unrealistic. Fear told you that you would repeat the same failures forever. But listen closely to my voice inside your spirit. I do not build destinies on fear. I build destinies on faith that survives storms, rejection, delay, and uncertainty. You thought breakthrough would feel like sudden freedom. But sometimes breakthrough begins quietly. Sometimes it begins when you choose to believe again, even though nothing around you has changed yet. That moment when you kept praying, even when you felt tired, that was spiritual victory beginning to form in hidden places. I saw when fear tried to take over your thoughts at night, when your mind replayed worst-case scenarios, when you wondered if your life would ever truly change. But I was there, strengthening your spirit like wind supporting a flame that refuses to go out. Your faith may have felt small sometimes, but faith is not measured by noise. It is measured by endurance. Breakthrough is not always loud. Sometimes it is quiet authority forming inside your soul. It is you waking up one morning and realizing fear does not control your decisions anymore. It is you choosing hope even when emotions are still healing. You have walked through seasons where fear tried to convince you that safety was staying small. But I am calling you to something greater than survival. I am calling you to spiritual courage. I am teaching you how to move forward even when you cannot see the full path yet. There were times when you felt like you were standing at the edge of change, afraid to jump into what I was calling you toward. But I am not asking you to jump blindly. I am asking you to trust that I am already standing on the other side of your fear. Your breakthrough is connected to your courage to keep believing when fear tried to win silently. Every time you chose faith, you weakened fear's authority over your story. Something is shifting in your life even now. You may not feel it fully yet, but I am telling you, breakthrough is closer than you think, and fear will not decide your ending. Faith will. And I am still writing victory into your story. I have seen the moments when you felt exposed, when you felt like the world could see your weaknesses, your struggles, your fears, and your scars. Hear me, my chosen one. You were never truly exposed, even when you felt vulnerable. You were protected by my hand, even when you felt emotionally and spiritually uncovered. What you felt as exposure was actually preparation for trust in protection you could not see. There were times when you felt like life was watching you too closely, like people were judging your journey, your mistakes, your healing process. You tried to protect your heart, but sometimes life still felt loud around you. Listen closely. I see more of you than the world ever could. And I have always been surrounding you with protection, even in seasons when you felt spiritually naked before the world. You thought you were walking through life alone, but I was standing between you and dangers you never even knew were coming. I was guarding your future while you were worried about your present. I was protecting opportunities, relationships, and spiritual blessings that were still forming in your story. You may have felt exposed when relationships ended suddenly, when trust was broken, when you felt emotionally open to people who did not understand your heart. But those moments were not signs that you were unprotected. They were signs that I was refining who and what would have access to your destiny. Chosen one, I know how it feels to stand in a world that sometimes misunderstands your spirit. You wanted to be accepted. You wanted to feel safe being fully yourself. But I was teaching you something deeper than acceptance. I was teaching you spiritual discernment. Not everyone needs access to the deepest parts of your purpose. There were times when you felt spiritually tired from constantly defending your emotions, your decisions, your calling. But I was teaching you that your protection does not come from fighting every battle yourself. Your protection comes from my covering over your life, even in moments when you feel emotionally fragile. You are not walking through life exposed. You are walking through life marked by destiny protection. There are dangers you never saw, because I removed them before they reached you. There are attacks you never felt, because I blocked them silently in spiritual places you cannot see. You may feel vulnerable sometimes. That is human. But vulnerability does not mean you are unprotected. It means you are being shaped into someone strong enough to carry greater blessings without fear. Soon, you will look back and realize that what felt like exposure was actually spiritual positioning. I was placing you exactly where your destiny needed you to be, while still covering you with unseen protection. You are not walking alone. You are not uncovered. And I am still guarding your future, even when you feel like you are standing in front of the world. You are protected by purpose. And I have not stopped watching over you. I have heard every lie that was spoken about you, every whisper, every judgment, every word that tried to redefine who I created you to be. Hear me, my chosen one. Your destiny is louder than every lie ever spoken against your calling. What people said about you will not write your ending. What I wrote inside your destiny will speak the final truth. You thought words spoken against you were shaping your story. But I have been writing your destiny in places human voices cannot reach. There were times when you felt the weight of rumors, misunderstandings and accusations. Times when you wanted to defend yourself, but felt too tired to keep explaining who you really are. Listen closely. I never required you to fight every battle with words. Some battles are won when destiny begins speaking louder through your life than criticism ever could. You cried sometimes because people misunderstood your heart. They saw pieces of your story, but not the purpose behind your pain. They judged your struggles without seeing the spiritual growth happening inside you. But I was not disturbed by their words. I was preparing a future where your life would become living evidence that their words were wrong. Chosen one, I saw when people doubted your dreams, when they told you to lower your expectations, when they tried to make your calling feel unrealistic. But destiny is not built on human approval. Destiny is built on divine purpose that cannot be erased by human opinions. You have walked through seasons where you felt like you had to prove yourself constantly. But I am calling you out of the need to prove and into the freedom of becoming. You will not have to argue with your destiny. Your life will become the answer to every lie spoken about you. There will come a time when people who doubted you will watch what I do through you and be speechless. Not because you fought them, but because you outgrew every limitation they tried to place on your story. Your success will not be revenge. Your success will be revelation. I am building a destiny inside you that speaks in actions, impact, and spiritual authority. The lies said about your weakness will be answered by your strength. The lies said about your failure will be answered by your victory. The lies said about your future will be answered by what I am about to release through your life. You do not have to carry bitterness toward those who misunderstood you. I am the one who defends your calling. I am the one who proves your worth through your destiny unfolding step by step. Soon, your story will become so powerful that words spoken against you will fade into silence. Not because you fought to silence them, but because destiny itself will speak louder. Stand strong, chosen one. Your destiny is already rising, and every lie spoken against you is already being erased by the truth I am writing through your life. I am not finished with you, and your story will speak louder than every accusation ever spoken against you. Listen to me carefully, my chosen one, because something inside you is starting to wake up. You are beginning to realize that nothing you went through was wasted. Not one night of pain, not one tear, not one moment you thought you were breaking apart. Your pain was never destruction. It was preparation disguised as suffering. And I was there, even when you thought I had gone silent. Do you feel it? That stirring inside your spirit. That strange realization that your story was being shaped in places you could not see. I watched you when you were being stretched beyond what you thought you could survive. I saw when life pressured you emotionally, spiritually, mentally, not to break you, but to build spiritual strength inside you that comfort could never create. You thought you were just surviving, but I was preparing you for destiny activation. There were dangers you never knew you escaped. Decisions you almost made that would have taken you off your path. People you trusted who were not meant to stay in your story forever. You thought those losses were punishment. But I was protecting your future while you were crying over your present. I was redirecting your steps when you felt lost. I was closing doors quietly so your purpose would not be delayed by distractions disguised as blessings. And now something is changing inside you. You are starting to see that your struggles gave you wisdom. Your heartbreak gave you discernment. Your loneliness gave you spiritual strength. You are starting to understand that I was not ignoring you. I was shaping you into someone strong enough to carry what I am about to release into your life. You were being trained in invisible places. In nights when you felt spiritually exhausted. In moments when you kept believing even when hope felt fragile. That was not weakness. That was destiny forming under pressure. Listen to me, your destiny is not something you are chasing. Your destiny is something that is already chasing you. waiting for you to step fully into who I created you to be. You are about to walk into seasons where your past pain will become your spiritual authority. You will speak hope to people who are walking through what you survived. You are not broken. You are awakened. You are not delayed. You are being released at the exact moment your character and purpose are ready to carry the weight of blessing. Something powerful is rising in your life right now, not by accident, not by coincidence, but because I have been preparing you all along, and your destiny is finally beginning to speak. So stand up, chosen one. Stand up in the strength you thought you lost. The battles did not break you, they shaped you. The tears did not weaken you, they watered your destiny. You are still here because I never left you, not for 1 second, not in your darkest night, not in your quietest prayer. I was there when you felt invisible. I was there when you thought your story was over. Victory is already breathing inside your future. Walk forward with courage now. Walk like someone who knows their name is written in purpose, in protection, in glory yet to be revealed. The world will see what I have been building inside you. Your life will become proof that faith survives storms. You are not forgotten. You are not defeated. You are chosen, covered, and destined for victory. Go forward, your story is still being written in glory and power.